Seems to be live. Yep, I think we're getting ready. Right, so we'll just wait for a few minutes. Just give it a few minutes. Okay. So just waiting for a few moments. I'll begin at 4:45 with my talk. Hi, Joanna. Nice to see you. I'll be starting now in just a moment. Just give it another maybe 30 seconds or so. So hello, greetings everybody. I'm Mary from Mary Gallagher Healing Therapy, and thank you for being here for my talk, which is about accepting change into our lives, because we are in the middle of change. The energy of change is all around us, and it's very much affecting everybody. And in particular, I wanted to say how working within a spiritual light really helps us to adapt and to see our way forward through change in our lives. So today it just happens to be a really nice sunny day here, and I can certainly accept that change in my life. It's a welcome relief. It's beautiful weather out there. But in general, what we're experiencing at the moment is a total upheaval in the world. For the last 18 months or so, things have been so different that it's thrown everybody upside down. And we are creatures of routine. We like to know what's going to happen. So I'm sure when you woke up this morning, you had some sort of plan. Even if it was just stay in bed late on a Sunday, or no, today's Saturday, just stay in bed or maybe go shopping or do whatever you're going to do. And we do like that comfortable feeling of knowing what we're going to do and how things are going to turn out. But in the last 18 months, not just our lives have changed, but the entire world. And this is what's extraordinary. And this is what is really pushing us. This energy of change is pushing us big time and making us consider what we do, what we don't do. So the problem with this change is that it's not by choice. It is not by choice. We're being told what to do. And this has sort of been given to us from outside. It's not coming from within us spontaneously. If you make a decision, say, well, I don't like that, I'm going to change it, I want to make those changes, you feel like you have some control over it. But because it's coming from outside, all these protocols we have, all these rules, all these changes, it feels difficult, it feels awkward, it doesn't even feel comfortable. It feels in some cases wrong and unnatural. So if you think about our work situation, some people, their job is gone, they're not at work, or you're working differently. You might have to work from home, which is not a natural thing for most people. You don't touch anybody, wear a mask, cover up, don't go near your friends, don't go near your family. All of that sort of upsets us, upsets our balance. And when you're told then don't travel, like I was driving in the first lockdown we had, I remember driving to the shops and I was looking at the side roads thinking, God, look at all those roads and I can't go down there. I'm not allowed to go down those little roads. Where do they go? It's a ridiculous thing. But what's happening is our sense of control of our lives goes, our sense of power, our sense of right to make our own decisions has been somehow taken away for us. For whatever the reasons, it's gone. And it doesn't feel natural to have these rules around us that we're not used to, not as adults anyway. But what's actually happening, there's two things happening at the same time. We have, on the one hand, we have to respond to the circumstances that are out there. But on the other hand, we have a real choice point at the moment. And that choice point is a huge opportunity for change, because a lot of people are finding, or they will find, that when things open up again, they say, well, do I want to go back to what I was doing before? Do I actually want to go back to that job? And a lot of people are saying, well, no, actually, I don't miss it. I don't miss all the pressure I was under when I was at work. I don't miss all the rushing around I had to do. I don't actually really miss some of the people I had to mix with. I don't want it back. I don't want some of the obligation I felt I was under. I don't want some of the patterns that I was following. So people have had time to think and time to adjust to something different if they want to. And the question now is, if you want to make change in your life, you can think about it in your head and you can say, well, what would I like to do? But that's fine in your head. But can you create that? Can you then hold on to it? So can you find it in your heart? And this is where I find that working within a spiritual light, a healing session within a spiritual healing light, is totally different. It's from a higher dimension. It's from a fifth dimensional level. And there's no agenda. There's nobody telling you. It's you allowed your own space. It's like your own higher self can reach out and actually find, what do you want in your life? And you have got the power. And I'd really say take time to do this for yourself. Because the problem is our old routines stop us. We're so busy doing what we always did that we haven't got time to think about where we'd like to go. And it's finding a bridge. By going into a healing session, it's like a bridge between stopping the way you used to do things and being able to move forward into what you would like to do, and holding that space with you for long enough to help you to adapt. So there's lots of questions we have, like, what are my wishes for myself? What do you actually want for yourself? I mean, when do you actually get a chance or get time to sit down and say, what do I really want to do? What would I like to do? What are my ideas? What's going on in me? What are these things that I feel I could push myself out into or forward into, that you're done with what's over, but you'd like to move yourself on? And it's really to give yourself a chance to see for yourself, what would you like to do? And not just that, but what skills do you have? And one of the things as well is, if you talk to people about this, if you do this too soon, or you talk to the wrong people, people are brilliant. They love to jump in on top of it, and they want to tell you what they think you should do. But you need to be careful. I think if something is fragile and something is starting to come up from you and something is just forming inside you, give it time, allow it to come up, so you understand yourself, you understand your own thinking, you're understanding, well, hang on, I'm feeling something here. I want to bring something up in my life. I know there's other things. I'm not quite sure what they are. I'm not quite sure how to get there. But you want a way that you can bring this up in a safe space before other people can take over, because people can, with the best will in the world, they can take over. They can start to tell you, advise you, even your friends and family. They might be thinking, it's for your best interest, but you've got to give yourself that time and space, allowing the change into your life, because it is your life. Whatever you do, whatever decision you make, it's your life. It's going to push you forward, and you want to be happy with that. You want to be comfortable with that, and when you have made your decision, when you've thought about it, you have peace. And that peace is so important, because if other things are still trying to affect you and push you before you're ready, then you're never quite sure. You've got to allow that space just to find peace with your decision and something extra that you want to come in, whatever it is. So change could be anything. For a lot of people, they might want to change their job situation. They recognize now they weren't happy or comfortable. Sometimes it's a relationship. Things have just gone astray. Somebody it could be a friendship. What you thought was a friendship, and you realize actually it wasn't. There's things there that aren't helping you. Sometimes you need to find a release of something in your life, a healing that needs to come through for something that happened in your life. And it could have happened 10 years ago. It could have happened when you were a child. So changing that is a process again. So allowing this change in, I feel you need to give yourself space. You need to give yourself a bit of time. You need to honor yourself. Give yourself the power to do this. Give yourself the right to do it. You have every right to value yourself and to say, well, I'm not happy with this. Fine, that's done with. But what do I want next? And this moving forward is the bridge. And there's often a dying out of the old, whatever's been in our lives. But when it dies out, when it goes, we have to wait until something new comes in. And this at the moment is a huge opportunity this time, because so much change is happening naturally. And do you go back to the way you lived your life? I don't think we can. I think that's over. And it's a bit like, for me, those disaster movies you see where, these B movies where you've got this big earthquake and a huge big crack or fissure opens up on the earth. And some people are on one side and some people are stuck on the other side of this big hole. And they're saying, jump, jump. And some of them jump and the last one falls in and hangs on by their fingernails. It's like we have an opportunity now to make that leap, or to make that jump, to make that change in our lives, to have an opportunity to change something and allow that change to come forward for us. So it's really just to say to people, within spiritual light, it's coming from a higher level. It gives you a different consciousness. It gives you a chance to see it from a higher perspective, to expand the way you see your own life and things that you mightn't have realized that you can do. And it opens up your ability. It gives you that support. It gives you that little bit of extra vision, extra insight. It gives you a little bit of impact in your life that you mightn't have thought that you have. So I have put some links into the description box, which will be above this, for a healing session or for an information session. And I hope that if you're thinking of making change in your life, that you feel you can get support, because it can be pretty scary. And I know with me, I made a number of significant changes. I left a job a number of years ago. It's only 4 years ago, I think. I just decided that enough, and I've moved myself on. I've done lots of new things. It is possible to make these changes. So I wish you well with that. And if there's any questions, I'll just check from our box here. So hello, Jacqueline. Healing for myself and my family. Certainly, I wish you well with that. And if you've anything else to ask, please do. So thank you very much.